Not Without My Daughter by Betty Mahmoody was written in 1984. The story is about Betty Mahmoody, her 4-year-old daughter, and her husband, who were visiting Iran for supposedly 2 weeks, which then turned into a nightmare. Betty and her 4-year-old daughter were kept captive in a home in Iran, where Betty would be abused and assaulted. People watched as she was hurt and tortured. Betty would take the beatings for her 4-year-old daughter. She didn't want her to suffer. So later on, people started to offer Betty to be smuggled out of Iran, but she wouldn't leave without her 4-year-old daughter. Someone then came along and offered to take Betty and her 4-year-old daughter out of Iran without being caught by their husband. Personally, I would read Not Without My Daughter because I want to see what precautions Betty took in order to keep her 4-year-old daughter safe from her husband. And I would want to find out how she got through all of this and how one person stood up for both Betty and her 4-year-old daughter in order to take them back to the United States. A lot of people have said that this book has caused a lot of controversy because it shows that men have too much power, and in Iran there's this say where men have every single choice for themselves. Even if the woman or children don't want it, it takes just the male, the father. He's like the head of the whole family, and I want to see how Betty puts this story together in order to show, men shouldn't have every single say. Women should have the same rights as men. Betty Mahmoody has lectured children and people around the world about her life story. She has also been on many talk shows to talk about her struggles and what she did to survive everything. She's talked on many radio stations and has become an international sensation, which has caused many people to read her book and watch the movie that was later released years after her book was published in 1984.